let's jump right in. So I feel like phase one was kind of like self-explanatory. We're gonna go into phase two, which is gonna repeat a little more of part one, but I'm putting it together to also add another layer of knowledge, because it has to be done in layers. Here we have Uranus, the first of the gods, the first god of the cosmos. Here, the imagination of Gaia takes form through action, which equals manifestation of form. At this juncture, the invisible worlds are created. The 4D, the 5D, the 6D, the 7D, the 8D, the 9D. The first heaven, the second heaven, the third heaven, the fourth heaven, the fifth heaven, the sixth heaven, and seventh heaven. These are all invisible worlds. And it is another expression of form. You see, form is not just down here, where if I want to put my hand across your chest and out your back, can't do it, because the form down here is its most densest, which means the vibration of the atoms is very, very slow. And because it's very, very slow, it consolidates form in such a way that the atoms create a shell, which is the human being or the plant or the rocks or the minerals, and you can penetrate them. But if the vibration is very high, like a couple of million micrometers per second, then physical form cannot be stable. So now you can go through, you can see a ghost, right? And you can put through that ghost, and your hand will come out in the back of that ghost, because the vibration of the atoms is so high that there is no concrete form to sustain that being. It belongs in a plane where everything vibrates fast. So fast that human eyes cannot depict it. They cannot see it. And this is why we cannot see the invisible worlds. Our vibration is different, at a slower pace than that of the upper world, where it is like the speed per second is so high that there's no mathematical formula to calculate it. But vibrating at that speed, you're able to see into another realm of dimensions of their own kind right in front of you. The invisible world, the astral world, is right in front of us. We just can see it, because the vibratory nature of those realms is too strong, too high for our human eyes to depict it. It's like a dog. You can blow a whistle and the dog can hear it, but you can't. That's because that sound is at a higher pitch vibration that only dogs can hear. And the same with everything and anything in nature. The different forms, invisible, that are created is called the ether. Like ethereal, this ether is the foundation for these invisible worlds. Just like carbon matter is the foundation for our physical world. Without carbon, there's no this. There's no this. Space, cosmos, nothing. But in those realms, carbon does not rule. The ethers is something the scientists still have not understood of its makeup. In the occult, we have the same issue. We just don't know, but we know that it is like water. Just like we have our oceans on Earth, the ethers of space is to water in space. In the Bible it says, and the face of God moved upon the faces of the waters. Faces, not face, but faces of the waters. He wasn't talking about our water down here. He was talking about the ether and the invisible worlds. This is very obvious in the Bible, but if you're not an occultist and if you're not an initiate, it'll pass right by you. You won't see it. But it's in the language. It's there. It's there. You have light ether, which was created first. And then you have dense ether. Now, carbon-based matter is created. From the light ether, the invisible ether, comes the dense matter, which we now call the physical manifestation of the cosmos, which is visible. But it comes from the invisible worlds. It gave birth to it. Here is a model. Well, you see here, those are the different worlds created, invisible. And then the last one is the dense matter. That's us. That's our physical form. Carbon-based rules here. A polarity is also created here. You have the angelic realms, there they go, and then you have the demonic realms. This, and then you have Earth in the middle. This is another representation of polarity. It says in the Bible, in chapter Isaiah, I, the Lord, there's nobody else. I created and formed the stars. I create good and I create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. That's in Isaiah 46. I forgot the chapter, but if you want me to find it, I'll find it. This is God expressing polarity. And since we were made in His image and His likeness, we also possess the same potential for good or for evil, and the expression of polarity. As above, so below. Okay, this is another section. I do say it gets more difficult. I hope you're enjoying this series of occult. But if you're interested in being an occultist, you have to know this. You have to know the skeletal framework and skeletal structure of the invisible world and the physical. Or you can't be a magician. You can't be a witch. Because that is what we know. You can't be a shaman. The word shaman means to know. So to be a witch or sorcerer or shaman, it's not that you're born with the gift. You have to also apply it and educate academically. You gotta know about plants and trees and minerals. And you have to learn it. If, of course, you are interested in entering a career of such. We're going to stop here and do another segment so that it can be taken easily.